What's up, everybody? Electrician here. So today we're gonna be doing is I got some podcast light that I need to make. See, they're very expensive, and you can actually buy them. They come with diffusers. They come with all type of ways that you can buy podcast lighting. So me, I do electrical, so I actually have a bunch of these that were left over on my previous job, and I got these off of Amazon, so they're pretty inexpensive, right? They're not that expensive at all. And I said, hey, I got them laying around here, so I might as well make some. And I was looking, and I was telling my buddy actually has got a good podcast that he's got, and I was like, hey, buddy, send me the link. Send me the link, and they're like $300 or something like that. And I'm like, whoa. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, let me put something together first to see if I can actually do it. And I did. So I actually have two right there running right now, and this is a regular light here. If I turn this light off here, let's take a look, see what we got. So just for comparison, right? So if I turn this light off here, this is the type of lighting that I get here, right? It's okay. Not that much lighting, right? But that's just the type of the lighting that we get here. So but now let's take a look to see if we turn off the other lighting over there. Let's see. Turn this one on. So we'll turn that one on there. And we'll turn this one off here. See? So now it is this dark here. So because it's this dark, you know, you can't really shoot. You can't really shoot videos. You can't really shoot podcasting or anything like that. So what I did is I went ahead and put two of these together like this, put them together, and then I wired them up. So, and when I wired them up, this is the type of lighting that I got right here. Let's take a look. See, and that right there is on it rose, you know. So that's the type of lighting that I get with just two of these right here. Just like that, right? So let's go ahead and see who's on here. Let me see here. If you guys are watching, make sure you hit that like button. So what we're gonna do is get these lights going, but we have to kind of lay them out, right? We can't just like put them anywhere. So I would recommend, and this is just stuff that I have laying around. So I have one, I have two, I have three, and I have four. Right? I have these four here. And if for some odd reason any one of these does not work, right? I have more. So I have this one here, and then I should have two more here. So I have two more here. Just in case that one doesn't work. All right. So that's what we got going on. Go ahead and put this on here. All right, so it seems like we're good on the audio. Let's go, baby. Seems like we're good on everything. We're gonna thank everybody for watching right now. We're gonna thank everybody for watching. And we're just gonna get something going real quick. It's not that crazy, but we're gonna get something going real quick. So, yep, audio is good. Everything is good. All right, so just want to make sure that was good. All right, so we're gonna put in this piece of wood right here. So we're gonna put these four right here. We're gonna put these four on this piece of wood right here. And what I like to do is, since I know I'm putting 4 objects on here, right? I like to measure it. I mean, I guess you could, eyeball it, but it's not going to be perfect. I like perfection. I like to be perfect. So what I like to do is, say I got this piece of wood here. I'll measure the overall length, which this is the overall length there. So I'll get my measuring tape and see here quickly. I see that I have 48 inches. 48 inches equals 4 feet, right? So if I want to put 4 lights, right? So if I want to put 1, 2, 3, 4 lights in even spacing, right? Of in between 48 inches, then I need to know how many spaces do I have in between them, right? Because I have 4, I can't divide it by 4 because there's going to be 5 spaces in there. So now I know there's going to be 5 spaces in here. Then I need to do a little dividing, right? So then I'll divide the 4 lights on the 5 spaces that I have here divided by the overall length, right? So your overall length was 48, right? And this again applies if you're actually laying these out across your lights, right? Say you have, lights here, and you have 4 lights right there. You wanna even them out. It's the same thing that I'm doing right here. So you can replicate the same thing that you're doing up there right onto this piece of wood. So let's divide it. Let's see what we have here. So let me get my calculator. But another important thing in here is that the calculator that I'm using, let's take a look here. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you because it's very important. You can't just use any calculator, right? See this calculator there? That is, let me focus. That is a feet to inches calculator there, right? Not a regular calculator. If you do a regular, you will not get your math correct. It will not work. So what I do here is I go to clear, right? And this app right here, it's called feet inch calculator, and it's a construction calculator. See, I have my electrical apps right there. And if you can see there, kind of hard to focus, but I have a few apps here. So one of them being the feet to inches calculator. So I go into my feet to inches calculator and I go ahead and put my overall length, which is 48 inches, right? So now I have 48 inches. I go ahead and type that in here, 48 inches, right? And then you divide that by the number of spaces that you have here, which is going to be 5, right? Because we have 4 objects. So we're going to add 1 for the amount of spacings. So we'll put 5, right? Equals 9 inches and 5/8, okay? So now what we do is we'll start from here. So we'll go, excuse me. So we'll go 9 inches, and this one is dead here. So let me get another marker here because this marker here is no longer working. Okay, so 9, 1, 3, and 5 would be right there. Then we'll grab our square. Then we'll go 9, 5/8. Five-eighths. And a 5/8. Right there, boom. And we got 9 and 5/8 over there. Just like that. So we'll put one right here, one right there, one right there, and one right there, and that'll give us our even spacing, right? So that's, and then you can always verify your lengths from here to here and here to here, because 1, 2, 3, 4 objects, but if you were to count, you would have 1 spacing, 2 spacings, 3 spacings, 4 spacings, 5 spacings, and that's why you need to put 5 spacings on there. So that 5 spaces creates your equal spacing on these here. So now if you were to set that on there, right? Just like so, if you were to just verify how they go, then you'll be equal, right? Just like that. And that right there is gonna give you, you're gonna make sure that it's equal on there. So, all right, my next step would be, now I have those lights, now I have the equal spacing, now I marked everything. So now another thing that I'm gonna do is grab this back here. All right, so another thing I'm gonna do is start seeing how I'm gonna mount these on my board here. And actually I can go ahead and mark these on this side too as well, just so I can have that, just like so. So I got it on this side, and on this side. So we know even sides on all of them. And you can actually do this on anything, so you don't have to just do it on a piece of board like this. This is, like I said, this is just stuff that I had actually laying around. So, I mean, it's not like you have to actually just use this. All right, my next step is gonna be mounting my drivers. So these drivers are gonna go the same way, right? And I want them to be, let me see here. I want them to be facing this way like this. And I want them to be center. So it's gonna go like that, right? Just like that. Like that. So it's gonna hang like this, with them being on the lower part. So they'll be on the lower part this way, like this, right? And the driver will be on top. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do just one real quick. So if I grab this here, open that up, line that up there, right there to the center. Just drive that down. So that, that's how it's actually gonna sit like this. Or I can mount this on anything, or, and then I can, even if I bring it towards this side, well, actually that's where it sits. But that's gonna be perfect right there, right? And then, so now I can drop this on this side, just like this. Once I wire everything up, but I will need to wire everything up first. Then I could just drive something right here, just like that. And it's gonna be like that. When it's all said and done, we'll have 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, and we're gonna wire them up we're gonna daisy chain them from here to the next one, to the next one, and to the next one. And this one here is gonna go to the next one. So it's gonna be perfectly even spaced, and we're gonna get our podcast lighting. And that's gonna help us out a lot here in the studio. So we're gonna go ahead, that's what we're gonna do. But I'm gonna take this one off for now. So this one is gonna come off for now. So we're gonna set this one down, and we're gonna start mounting these. So that's gonna be my first thing to do, is mount them all facing this way. So I got my next one, because I already know where they go. That one's already on there. So I'll put my next one here. Center to here, edged up, just like that. Grab my next box. Put it right there again. And then That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 right here. And I'm making them all face the same way. These came with but I've already popped them in. So what I've also already done is when these come like that, they come with these here, right? I've already put those on, and you also see this knockout piece I've also already put on too. So I put those two on already. And thank you for that like, guys. Y'all make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button. You guys got any questions or anything like that, you can also put them down too. You guys can also comment. I can see your comments right here. I got the comments pulled up, so go ahead if you guys got any questions. All right. So just like that. Actually, I can put this one down a little bit further. These are wood screws, so. All right, so there we go. So now we got our our 4, just like that, right? Just like that. All right. Now, what I'm gonna do is put this away. We got some scraps right here. Got some leftovers, right? This is your common leftovers that you have here. So what I would do is I would go like this. Bring that over. Bring that over. See how you can bend this a little bit, because you're gonna have to get it in there, and then possibly strap it down. So you're gonna have to see how you're gonna do this, right, without it giving you a super hard time. You might just need to staple it and then bring it up like that, right? Because if we do it from the top, we won't be able to. So it's got to be at least this much on there, right here. So you got to have this much minimum on there. Like this much minimum. Like this one, right? Being halfway in the middle with a staple. And then it can come up and then go inside. So what we'll do is we'll prefab these. So I know I need 1, 2, and 3, right? So there's 1. Cut the length on that one. So there's 2. Then we'll do my 3rd one. Like this. Boom. This one to make it in between here. This one to make it in between here. This one to make it in between here. And you might think to yourself, how am I going to connect everything together, right? Well, excuse me. Well, I have an extension cord right here. And with this extension cord, what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this part right here. We're actually going to use this part right here. So this is the only part we're actually going to use, and we're going to cut this part right here. So this is the part we're going to cut off. All right, we don't need this here. So we'll cut this end right here. But I won't cut it right at the tip, just because in case I'll ever need it, right? So I'll cut it to like right here in case I can ever make this. No, actually I don't need it. So I'll just cut it right here. Boom. And then throw that in the trash. Then I'll go ahead and cut this open. Just like so. And then this would then feed in here with power, right? And that's gonna be my inlet out, my inlet to bring me power to the actual light fixture. So, all right, so let's go on doing that. Go ahead and do that now. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna set this in the middle. So we're gonna go like this, just like so. Just like that. So we're gonna make them into a V. Just like this, into a V. Into a V. And then now what I'm gonna do is set that down, grab a hammer, grab some staples. Now we're gonna put this right here, put that right there. And we're gonna staple this down here. Just like this. Just like that. One more. And then that one is gonna be good. And do one more right here. Do one more right here. Bring this down right here. It's gonna be a little bit better on the ground. 1 second. So I feel like I could get a little bit more leverage. I only gotta put 3 of them in anyways. Just like that. And then, and then I'm gonna put one more. All right, let me grab this here. This one right here can be a little problem. There we go. All right, so we got our wires on there. Just like that. Got these two little, these covers are pretty flimsy, but it's okay. These just go on here just like this. All right. So we put the covers on that fill. Put these little covers on. All right, so we have your in, your out, your in, and your out, right? So we're not gonna start on this one because that's the one that's actually gonna get the power coming in. So we can start on the end one right here, right? So we just fold it out like this and bring it in, all right? Just like that, all right? Okay, so now that you bring it in, you can just leave it in there like that and move on to your next one. So your next one, come in like this, but don't put it in yet because you're gonna put both of them in at the same time. Actually, you can put one in at a time too, just gotta bring it in a row because these are a little hard to get in here. So they could give you a little bit of issues sometimes. It's just the way it is with these, you know. Gotta use a little bit of muscle without destroying the whole entire thing, you know. And and if the covers come off, no issue. You can put those on at the end, but mostly just want to make sure you're staying kind of consistent, you know. But got both of them in, just like that. Right now, get this one in here. Fold it back. Make sure you don't cross them, you know. You don't want to cross your wires. It ain't gonna be easy because it's just the way these connectors are. These connectors are a little pain in the butt, but it's okay. That's just the way these are like that. But you have to be careful because you can't just be pushing. It's a certain way you gotta push. It's a certain way you gotta grab things. Like I can't just like grab the box because I'll snatch it off. It's a certain way you have to know how to, you know, see, because this is gonna come off right here, right? I'm pushing on the box and this at the same time so it doesn't get destroyed. And that one's done. What is gonna be a hard one is gonna be this one. Cause I gotta put, oh, actually it might not be hard. Cause this one's gotta come in too. So that one's in. I gotta get this one in. Right? All right, so we got it, right? So that's the wiring part of it right there. And again, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, please don't. I'm doing this because I have this stuff. I am an electrician, hence the name, Electrician. So why would I throw this stuff away, right? This is stuff that I use, this is stuff that I have, so that's the only reason why. But yeah, you'll get a little tight doing this all day for sure, because it's a lot of pushing and grabbing and a lot of, you know, a lot of that. So let me grab me a knife. And actually, I'm gonna have to grab a knife real quick. Y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. Y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. Smoke break, cause I have to go to the truck to go get this knife. So y'all hang out for a second. All right. Cool little smoke break. Cool little smoke break. So I went to go get my knife. Got my knife right here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut this right here. We're gonna cut these, all of these. We're gonna strip them, right? We're gonna go ahead and strip them. We're gonna make sure how when we cut these, we're gonna be very careful, right? not to cut the inside. All right, take off all the sleeving. All right, get all your trash right here. And these here, don't be afraid to cut these even, or the actual size that you want them now, right? And I'm just going like this so I can go ahead and do that in a small little turn, but I am even them all out, right? So that's even, that's even. That's a little too long. It's perfect for me. You don't want them too long because then you can't even put them in the box anymore. So now I went ahead and stripped them. Strip those. I'm going to strip these. So I'm just stripping out the insides right here, right? Stripping off the yellow part of the Romex right here, because you're gonna have Romex that's like this. So what I'm doing is I'm just splitting the middle of the Romex right here, exposing the inside layer just like that, right? And revealing your black, white, and your ground. Okay. Let me see if I can restart. Is that better? How's the audio now? Is that a little better? I know it's a little choppy, huh? So that's what we have inside these Romexes, right? And we're just putting them in together. We're just putting them in sequence, pretty much just black. It's gonna go to its black here. Then we have a white that's gonna go to the white. We have a ground that's gonna go to the ground. And here the same thing, blacks to blacks. And perfect. Yeah, I just went ahead and reset it for a second. It was dying earlier. My row was dying earlier, but it seems like we're pretty good now. So thank you to my moderator, 702 Wifey. Thank you very much. If you're tuning in, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. A lot of videos, and we're just getting started too. So if you guys like this, if you guys like these style videos, you know, this is something I was just gonna do on my own. I didn't plan on going live, but as I was doing what I was doing, I was like, you know what? Let's go live. I think it'll be good because this light is not pretty much, this light's not for this channel. So I have other channels that this light is for. So all right. So I have all my wires there. Then I have this here that's ultimately gonna give power to everything. All right. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and make everything up, is what you call. So starting with the very end again. So we're just gonna fold these down just like so. All right. As like where they're gonna go. Fold them down where they're gonna go. Cut them. Strip, strip, strip. So this is where you have to pay attention because you can mess this up, right? You really have to pay attention here. So I would say grab one white and go. Right? So you stab your white in. You physically look at your black. You physically look at your black, and then you stab it in. These right here are called Wagos. It makes it very easy for your job just to go simple, right? And you've already measured where you want it to go. And then lastly, you could go ahead and put your cover on. All right? Make sure that goes there. and boom. So this one is actually already done, right? So what you do is you go to your next one and you measure it again where they're gonna go, just like that. And what I would do is I would start with the grounds with everything, just like I do with everything, right? And move everything to the side, put them next to each other just like this. So now you know you got two grounds in your hand, and grab everything, put it to the side, just like so. Put it to the side, and then pop your grounds in. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit too, so we can get a little bit of a little bit more context of what we're doing here. Right? And then so now what we're gonna do is we're just grabbing these black ones here, right? So we're gonna go ahead and peel those off. And pop these in here as well. Just like that. Now verifying that you didn't cross anything, everything seems to be good and intact, you can go ahead and move on to the next one. Bringing your wires here like this, and without peeling in the next one, because I would peel everything all together, it would be fast. Yes, you could peel everything all together and it would be faster, but it's prone to more mistakes, right? You can make more mistakes like that unless if you take your time and do one at a time. So now you can, you know, you're good. You can go ahead and push everything back in the box, just like that, and put your cover back on. Make sure all your wings, everything is good. Just like so. Now these things are a little flimsy, so you can expect them not to, you know, be so functional. These boxes are really flimsy, but you know. All right. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about the box not being able to close. I mean, because it's not your fault that these things are so flimsy, but moving on down. So now do the same thing. You know, see, these are a little bit long, but they might fold down perfectly. All right. Still a little long for me, but we'll work with it. So again, I'm gonna start with grabbing the grounds, right? Grounds, pushing them over, just like this, before I peel anything, because, I mean, I could peel everything, it would be faster, but like I said, you'll make more mistakes. So now I got my grounds all in there, and that's gonna be the first thing I push out the way. Make sure it goes all the way down, right? Then you can get your neutrals, just like so. If they're not matching up, you go ahead and you trim one or the other. Then you can go ahead and strip it. You're stripping about, say, a 1/4 inch, maybe about 3/8 of an inch. So now you go ahead and see, messed up. And that's why you have to be very careful, because I went ahead and put the black to the white, which would have gave me a short. So now you have to be very careful, and that's why you do one at a time. Always verifying what you do, because it's easy, even though you only have 1 to 2, to mess up, especially when you're doing something, talking to people. And so that's why you're always double checking your work, right? And again, if you don't feel comfortable, make sure you hire an electrician. You can even call me too. So here, 2 blacks and 1 black left. That's how you know you did everything correctly, because that's why you're doing one at a time. making sure you don't cross anything, you know. And just like that, we're gonna go ahead and put our second to last cover on to our light fixture. And this right here is a build your own podcast studio light when on a budget, DIY style, all right? And it's gonna be very bright because this one here that I'm running off of is 2 lights. So this is gonna be pretty bright. All right, on to the last one here. And this one here is gonna be a little different because it does have these Wagos, but these Wagos aren't gonna work for me because this is a solid wire and this is a stranded wire. Stranded wire is not gonna be able to push inside of a Wago, right? We're not gonna be able to get that. We're not gonna be able to get this stranded wire and this solid wire inside of these Wagos. It's just not gonna happen. So what we need to do is we need to back these out here, right? And the way I like to do is I like to put pressure in the back while I'm unscrewing them. And I'll save these right here for later because they're still good Wagos. I'll just put these right here away. That's how I like to back out my Wagos like that. Just put pressure and kind of just spin them out. Just like that. And then I'll grab some of these smaller ones, but actually that's not gonna work either. Well, actually it might. We'll see if this will work. It should work though for a number 12 in this one. Well, actually, no, that's not gonna work. So we're gonna need some, wire nuts. And, or what we can use is I actually think I have some of these Wagos. These are the ones that you snap on, but I have to see what I got here. I have to see what I got here. Or I could use these yellow ones. Or I could actually use these two. I got these Wagos right here. So I got these little Wagos here. And these are the ones that I could use actually. You guys make sure you hit that like button. Thank you very much. Let's go. So that's what we can use. We can use these right here. So, all right. But we are gonna cut them even. This one being just a little bit longer. And again, it's not plugged into nothing. Make sure you don't plug into nothing. So it's not plugged into nothing, right? Got the plug right here. And then we can go ahead and peel this here. Just like so. And then we'll do the grounds first because those 2 grounds, put this, actually I could put a solid and a solid for the grounds. Because all the grounds are gonna go together, right? Then we'll get our neutrals. Just like so. And because that is a stranded wire, I'm gonna go ahead and put that one in first. Like that. Pop the other 2 open. That one. Boom. And then my last one. Just like that. And I'll go ahead and show you guys in a second what I mean by that. See? Just like that. Okay. Now, the next one here is going to be your blacks. Go ahead and peel back your power. Peel it back a little bit. And these Legos are pretty cool because they have the tabs on them. So just open up your tabs and then you can go ahead and put powers in there. Close that up. Put your second power. If you want to buy these and just use these are a lot better than the first Legos I was using, but they're actually more expensive too. So you could purchase the other Legos. And the other Legos, they came with the light, so, you know. But I would prefer these over everything. And they're flat, too, so they can, like, stack on each other. All right, so I got my light on. Everything is good. Just like that. So I'll go ahead and plug this in and test it. Just like that. Just like that. All right, and what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna go ahead and check this out right here. Make sure that those two all right, so the ohm is not going off, right? So that means that it's not gonna short off. See, that would short, that's not shorting. So that means that I got all of them correct, right? So let's go ahead and plug this in. Everything is good. Oh, my hard hat fell. Whatever. All right, so I plugged it in. So these are actually wired up now. I mean, powered up now. So this would be considered hot. You go ahead and check it with your hot stick. You do have power here. You do have power there. You are live. So this does have actual power. You have 120 volts there, right? So now you have to be careful because you do have 120 volts going through there, right inside these boxes, okay? So that's one thing to be, you know, to take a look at. All right, to remember, it's one thing to remember. So go ahead and take off your power now. And what you're gonna do now is you're gonna have to put this on here. You're gonna have to staple that down too as well because you don't want your power cord to ever pull on this. So you will need to get a staple on that. Let's go ahead and get a staple on that as well. All right, and I did unplug it. So, but we need to put a staple here. We need to put a staple here so it doesn't pull from the box, see? See how it goes inside the box right there? And then we got our service loop and we don't want it to, I can back this up now. Just like that. So let me go ahead and put this staple on here and I'm gonna go on the ground and do it real quick. All right. Excuse me for a second. Just like that. I can actually do it just a little tighter. Just like that. We don't want it too tight. We don't want it too loose either because then it'll snatch off of there, see? I went ahead and just put it right here. So it's I can pull it, but I don't want to, right? But it's on there. You don't want it too loose, but you want it just tight enough. So I know this is on there, that's on there, that's on there. Nothing is going anywhere, right? And I can even put a little bit of tape on these, right? Keep these down. So I can actually do something about that too. Put a small little piece of tape around the whole light, right? Some electrical tape. Just like that on the, to close that down, right? And this is what I do in the field too. When I install these lights, I go ahead and put tape on them like this. And it's not to keep them down, it's just to keep the lid closed. Because you don't want no, like if these are in the attic, they tend to get warm. So what happens is that, like if you have mice up in your attic and stuff like that, they like to be around warm areas in the winter. And they'll chew on these wires right here. And you just get a little piece of tape like that, and you put it around your electrical box, you know, to prevent this box from opening on you when it is in the attic, right? Just like that. And again, if you don't feel safe doing this, do not do this. Hire a professional electrician. Do not do this. Because it's easy to me. I do this all the time. It's my profession. It's what I do for a living. So, am I scared of electricity? No. Do I respect it? Heck yes. You can't be scared because then you won't perform like you will. You know? You'll go in there nervous, and that's when you make mistakes, right? So now we got our lights. Right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my whips as they go down, just like this, because remember, we're mounting to the bottom of this, right? Mounted to the bottom of this. And now that we know it goes right in the center of each one. And again, we're gonna grab them on each left to the this side here. So this one can go here, right? And it's gonna go at the bottom, okay? It's actually gonna go at the bottom, like this, okay? Because that will then hang like this. Okay, so let me see here, like that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put those in, right? So this one here is right there. Just like that. Next one. Next one will go right here. Just like that. Just like that. Next one, right where my mark is at. And if you guys want to see how I did it evenly, I actually got the even marks on the beginning of the video. So if you want to see how I got the marks even, I did that in the beginning of the video. You could go ahead and press rewind in the beginning and see how I was able to get the even spacings on my 48 inches, which is 4 feet. So next one. So again, I did this because, you know, studio lights are expensive. Podcast lighting is expensive. And the lighting that I'm using right now is pretty much the same thing that I'm building. But these have another feature to them, because let me go ahead and show you the feature that this one has opposed to the ones that I'm using now, right? It is a big difference. This one here actually has different color temperatures that I can put it to. So if I want to warm up the place, I can go ahead and just adjust those and cool it down with the new lighting that I'm using. So that's what this lighting will be able to do opposed to the ones that I'm using now. And let me go ahead and show you just a little small comparison of what those two do, the difference. Right? So the difference is this is a T8 cool light, right? This is a T8 cool. So if I turn that on, fluorescent, you see it looks cool, right? You get this cool look to it. But let me turn off the two halo lights, just like this, that we have over there hanging. And there's just two of them put together, and let me turn those off. That's the type of lighting without those. See the difference? Without those two lights that I have over there, this is the type of lighting that I get. Now it's going to give you an idea what these four are going to give me with adjustable color temperatures. So let's take a look. Let's turn those back on because it's a little bit dark in here. It's actually really dark. So let's put these back on. And I built the other ones too as well. So the ones that I have up there, I built them. I made those up there too as well. So now you can see big difference, right? All right, so we're on the right track, but got to make sure everything works because I did take some of these off from my old job. So my last job site, we didn't use all of them, and some didn't work. So I'm thinking, I remember I took some off because we had the demo wall, or one didn't work. So we're gonna see which one it is right now. Let's go ahead and plug this in, and this is how it looks right here. So that's how our light actually looks, right? Might be a little ghetto, right? Might be just a little ghetto, but it works. It works. So let's go ahead and plug these in here. So this is your last step. So you go ahead and you just plug this in here like this. Your arrows to arrow, and screw that in. All right, arrow to arrow. Screw that in. You got your arrow to arrow. And you screw these in. Put your arrow to arrow. This right here saved me more than 150 bucks. Times two. 150 bucks times two. Because those podcast lightings are like 300, man. Those podcast lightings are like 300. And I'm like, wow, man, that's some expensive stuff there for have some lighting. And I'm like, I feel like I can build my own lights. I feel like I can do it. And we're gonna go ahead and fire it up. Let's take a look. Hey. So you see one is already a different color there. So that's it right there. Just like that. And then you can see I could change the color on it. Boom. So this will give you dynamic lighting. Very different type of lighting there. So you won't be able to see the difference right now, but let me see if I were to turn this off. You can see it's very bright in here. It's just those putting off all that light. So it's actually, it's really bright in here. Yeah. And once we hang it up somewhere, that's gonna make the difference. It's gonna make the world of a difference. Oh yeah. It's lighting stuff up over here. It is lit. like super bright. Yeah, so this is gonna go hung up. We're gonna hang this up somewhere. Wow, that's bright. So you can put this wherever you want. Wow, that's super bright. Let me turn that off. My eyes starting to hurt. You can't even you can't even make out how bright it is on the video, I promise. It's whoa. That was bright. And the cool part is that you can go ahead and take any one of these off right here safely, right? Just like this. If you think it's too bright, you could disconnect any one of these right here, right? So you disconnect that one and this one, you'll have these two on, right? You want it all on this side, you could just, you know, disconnect whichever one. You can even have one going, right? Or you could put multiples. It's really up to you. And I pretty much just showed you how to wire this stuff up. This can go in ceilings. You can look at the spacings on how to space it out. I showed that in the beginning of the video. I showed you how to wire it all up. The grommets that you need, all the Wagos that you need, the wire lengths that you did. I showed you how to prefab this stuff. I showed you how to, again, space it out. I showed you how to safely do things as far as not having things plugged in, right? Doing this at the very last. You don't want to start off by connecting your wire and somehow plugging it in. I don't know. But I showed you that. Other things that I would say would be, I know it's something as simple as this, but I actually thought about what I was going to do before I made the video. So even as someone as experienced as me, I had to put a little thought into it, right? So I would suggest if you're going to do something like this, put a little thought into it, because a lot of people don't have the Romex laying around like I do, right? So you'll have to purchase that. A lot of people don't have the lights that I have, so you'll have to purchase that. So if you have a strip light, if you have some type of lighting, or if you have a extension cord, or, you know, I would say put some thought into it. How much is the material going to cost? Is it really worth it to make your own? Is it really going to cause danger? Maybe a fire hazard, you know, something like that. Don't do it. I wouldn't do it. But if you're comfortable and you know how to do these things, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I saved myself 150 bucks times 2. So I'm very happy with my light. Would I be building more of these? Heck yeah. But the only thing is that I found this stake somewhere. There's actually like a stake, a construction stake. So, but that's why it's so lightweight. What's the circumference of the, I think it's a 2x2 or something like that. Maybe a 1 1/4 or something like that by some. So it's 1 5/8. 1 5/8 by 1 1/2. 1 5/8 by 1 1/2. That's the thickness of this piece of wood right here that I use. So that's it right there, guys. I'm in that video right here. If you guys like this video, you guys want more of these videos, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll gladly appreciate that. It helps the algorithm with the channel. I'm also growing. I'm at 800 subscribers now. I'm very thankful. I remember I was just at 400 not too long ago while we were building this house. So I want to thank you guys for that. The channel's really growing. I just want to say thank you. All right, peace.